Okay, so we have quite a few people and we can now get started. So a very warm welcome to all the participants and thanks for joining us on the webinar today. We have some of you, I feel that some of you are really serious, curious, committed and invested in the fact that you're here with us on a Sunday and taking out time on the weekend to know more about the careers and build your profile in the sector, in the logistics and supply chain management sector. I'm Vandana Marda and I'm head of products at Idology. Idology is a platform where we bring futuristic and new age programs and in collaboration with academic and industry. Today, the webinar is in collaboration with the University of Petroleum and Energy University. And we'll be interacting with one of the industry leaders today and a very well-known SME on the subject, the 10 things that you need to know about working as a logistics manager. And a very warm welcome to our speaker, Mr. Sonam Paliwal. Sonam, thanks for being with us on Sunday. I know that it's tough and challenging being part of this sector. And I know that Sunday probably is one of those days where you get some time to relax and, unwind. So, but thanks so much, the appreciation to you for being with us. A little bit about Sonam. Sonam has about 25 years of service product management experience in logistics and supply chain, logistics and aviation industry. Sonam ensures seamless connectivity, assuring speed and reliability to the company's vast and complex geographies. He's responsible for evaluating complex trade-offs among supply chain components, network optimization, maximizing profits and minimizing costs within the limits of constraints and intangible consideration. And Sonam has been instrumental in improving systems as well as developing the network strategies for companies. Prior to working with Ecom Express, and currently Sonam is working as Senior Vice President in Ecom Express. Sonam has worked with reputed organizations such as Blue Dart, Aramex, Gati, East West Airlines, and Damania Airways. So welcome, Sonam. Thanks for being with us. As we know that the logistics and supply chain market in India is expected to touch about $307 billion by the year 2021. And India is currently the prime destinations for logistics services provider globally. And it has a very good rate of percent growth year on year for the next few years. Having said that, the global pandemic, as we all know, has affected all aspects of the world economy. And one industry that has seen particularly noticeable changes over the past few years is e-commerce. And as self-isolated consumers have turned to online shopping, home delivery, it has created immense pressure on the supply chain logistics industry to keep up with the increasing demand. As a result, the logistics companies are stepping up, investing in the innovative strategies to respond to these rapidly shifting trends. And with that change, what has also happened is the skills requirement has changed drastically. So from automated warehousing technology to last mile delivery solutions, much is happening. So let's hear it from Sonam. And before I hand over to Sonam, I just wanted to let people know that, folks, this webinar is for you and for our participants. So please ensure that you ask all your questions, clear your doubts. And if you have any concerns or challenges, and also if you need to know more about, because some of you are working, I believe, as logistics managers already, and some of you are, freshers who would like to build your careers in logistics and supply chain management sector. So feel free to ask questions because we have the industry expert here to answer all the concerns. So over to you, Sonam. Thanks once again. And yeah, let's start.
Thanks, Vandana. Vandana, I saw on his screen that Rahul said that he is not able to listen and not able to see the video. You were loud and clear. I think if this kind of issue is there, it is pertaining to a specific system.
Yeah.
And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sonam Paliwal. As Vandana told, that I am currently working a part of e-commerce 3PL company, E-Commerce Express Limited. I worked 10 years with Blue Dart as their national head for their network. Before this, I was in Gati Limited, and prior to that, I was into aviation with Blue Dart. Before Blue Dart, I was in Gati, and before that, I started my career basically with East West Airlines and the Money Airways. So in this webinar, I will explain you that impact of logistic for new people, those who wants to make their career in logistic. What is logistic? I will give you overall visualization of this country geography. If I go to a particular comment of Mr. Piyush Bansal, who is minister in the cabinet of Mr. Modi, if you see that the current his LinkedIn saying that the fastest growing country is in India, with GDP expected 8.4 and more. In comparison to Europe and USA and UK, you will find their GDP is expected between 4.5 to 5 and 6, whereas India is expecting a huge growth. Indian economy is fast growing economy as on date. Logistics is one of the indicator of the country's economy. Extremely important in production and trade sector. It has a direct impact on country's economy and employment. Let me tell you, in Indian geography, you will find that 151,000 kilometers is our national highway. I repeat, 151,000 kilometers is national highway. The longest highway is between Srinagar to Kanyakumari, which is more than 3,700 or 3,800 kilometers. We are thinking about transportation mode of road. Think about rail. Rail tracks are more than 67,000 kilometers. You know, the double tracks are more than 25,000 kilometers. Electrified field is almost 45,000 kilometers. 3 million tons every day can be served by Indian Railways to 7,000 stations. We have a seaways available. See the nature of this country. And wide span of area, wide span of resources available on transportation. We as a common man understand that transportation is the only logistic which is not there. I can tell you, logistic translate into a increased efficiency, lower cost, production rates, better inventory control, smarter use of warehouses and other resources available in this industry, which is supply chain industry. What is supposed to result? It's supposed to result effective forward and reverse flow of goods and services from origin to the recipient. For this, you can see there are hardly any government logistic companies. There are private companies more. Truckers are private. It's a big and huge industry where involvement of private companies are more. These logistic companies would maximize their returns with low cost to provide service and complete the demand of their customer. For this, what these companies require, they require planning, controlling in both production and cost efficiency. And this will finally include, initially I told people understand that transportation is logistic. No, it includes many sectors: transportation, statutory compliance, commercial clearance, custom clearance, your storage, inventory facilities, packing, dispatch, and final delivery to the customer or to the trader. For all these things, what is required to the logistic companies and this industry? They require good qualified manager. You are among one of them. If you want to make your career, you are among them. This industry is looking for well qualified, efficient, and effective people to come. In my 25 years of age, I have seen complete swift, complete techno change, complete tech platform change, complete working environment change in the logistics supply chain. As far as changes which I am discussing with you, let me tell you, in last few years, say 5 years, there are major changes we have seen in this industry. The major impacts on logistic in last 5 years is this: in the country India, there was an introduction of one country, one tax, one document, which is e-way bill. We are old people from the era when each state used to have their own permit to import or export the goods from their states. Currently in the country, we called e-way bill is being introduced in 2017, which has created a smooth movement, a smooth commercial and other clearance of your goods from one state to another states. Import export does not mean one country to another country. Import export is also a part of Indian government logistic terminology. When within states also it is there. So this e-way bill made import and export within the states, interstate import and export ease was created in 2017 by. This is one of the major change, and going forward, government is creating e-invoicing for the traders. We have a single format of e-invoicing, including product code, which is HSN code. They have to feed complete detail to the government side and need to provide this information government against the goods they are exporting, importing, or intra-state or interstate they are doing. Second major change which we have seen is evolution of e-commerce industry. From 2012 to 2014, on e-platform, people started able to view number of products which were not available in their town, in their reach. This industry initially struggled to create a complete span of delivery. This was difficult to create a reach like a post office in India. The way people started using more smartphone, more internet, this industry slowly getting towards maturity, but it will take too much of time. This still has a huge potential. To cover this potential, what major change in this logistic industry is being seen is mechanization and automation. Few of you might not be knowing that the robotics uses, the shorter uses, and the conveyor belt, telescopic belts is started in the country. If I talk alone for e-commerce, we have a e-com express currently having 15 shorter locations. Each warehouse is more than 1.5 lakh square feet, where 4 to 5 lakh shipments can be handled in 24 hours. Shorting means shorting as per destination for the final customer. And this e-commerce industry has created an elastic logistic because there is a high fluctuation of demand. You might have seen the Great Indian Festival, Big Billion Day, and so on, other sales of other e-commerce platform. This create a a fluctuation in demand. To cater this fluctuation, this industry started evaluating gig economy, outsource mechanism, kirana store deliveries, and all other mechanism, which is new thing which we have seen as an impact on logistic industry in country in last few years. We can see that from traditional to a complete transformation on technology has been there. We can see, or I can just give an example that in year 2000, if there is an accident of a truck or if a freight train is late, held somewhere in the track, we used to track manually. Now currently, with the use of IoT, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence and machine learning, we can see that people start demanding speed. We have seen a complete shift that with these technologies, information flow was very, very fast to end customer. And the complete circle of people associated into logistic SCM, vendors, supplier, people, manpower supplier, vehicle supplier, material supplier, all these find that a platform of a blockchain has given a clear visibility on their vendors, management, agreements, payments, and all these things. Let me inform you, with the RFID toll introduction on a toll tax, government has also created a global data of their Vahan portal, their toll portals. I have seen this. A minister 2 years before, Suresh Prabhu, launched a mobile app called Suffer for the drivers, and driver having an option to give a information on vehicle road condition, traffic jam, even the police harassment, checkpost harassment, everything, every detailed data can be created through that app. So these kind of technological development has given a boost to this industry, but this has created a different demand set by the customer. When the information was available, customer was more in hurry and consumer is more in hurry to receive his goods in a faster manner. In between, in 2020, the day 24th of April, when the COVID was on a peak and PM announced a complete shutdown in the country, this industry faced huge problems. Like thousands of trucks were on road, metric tons of material were on road, many fragile inventory were there in the store. So a hardship to driver, to the trucker, to the company who was having a fixed cost of their operations was there. But this has helped to innovate many other ways to work. It has forced companies to optimize their resources. It has forced companies to work on a variable model. And the last impact on logistic, looking to the government intention, I would like to highlight the current PM program of Gati Shakti. I hope few of you might have heard about this. Let me explain in a very simple word that different ministry, different departments. For an example, in logistic, you will find aviation department is different, transport department different, and there is recently a logistics secretariat has been built by this government. So they are working in a different mood, and GST comes under commercial ministry. They are working in a different silo. So PM Gati Shakti master plan has a 6 pillar. One is comprehensiveness. All the projects of the government on an infrastructure development, which were already in a pipeline or already under execution, not completed, will be uploaded into this. All ministries will be able to visualize all these projects clearly. They will be able to prioritize their projects, their action on a project is the second pillar in a Gati Shakti master plan, where government is investing huge budget to ensure the country infrastructure, especially the seaways, railways, roadways, highways, can be used properly with the optimum use, with high speed. This Gati Shakti master plan has given a synchronization. Individual ministers and departments often work in a silo. There is a lack of coordination and planning implementation of project, resulting delays in this country. You might have seen on road, many highways are pending since number of years. Many flyovers are getting completed in decades of time, 10 years or 12 years, like so. Now this Gati Shakti will help synchronizing the activity of each department as well as different layers of governance in a holistic manner by ensuring coordination of work between different ministry will be created. And for your information, a huge GIS based spectacle planning can be planned because huge data will be available inter ministries. So finally, I should inform you on this program, which is very, very highly appreciated as a Gati Shakti, that our ministers, ministries, departments will now be able to visualize, view, and monitor the progress of cross-sectorial projects, and they will take the help of the data available with different ministries. They will be able to update each and every project visualization to public also, because public money is getting invested. So with this all changes which I have just explained you, like I told you, e-way bill started, e-commerce industry evolution was there, which brought automation, mechanization. I told you that a lot of tech platform build, which has created a different demand pressure from the logistic companies when they started giving complete view, complete information through technology like IoT, blockchain, AI, ML, and other things. If you are coming in the industry, because I told you that this industry needs quality, efficient, and effective people, that is very much needed. This company will further grow, and this industry will further grow, and people will be required. So what 10 more important things you need to know before you want to be a logistic manager? So I must tell you point-wise point, what I feel after my 25 years of experience, what kind of philosophy should be with a person having a complete technical logistic aspects or low technical logistic aspects, or have done any proper academic course on supply chain. What are the 10 most important things which I feel that before working a logistic manager, you need to frame and get ready with them? The first thing is this, that you need to be very much aware after I told you all these things, that first thing in your mind should be that logistics is a big business. As I told you, it plays a huge role in country's economy. This logistics is an industry. I can tell you that Indian logistics sector valued $215 billion with 10% AGR. It contributes 14.4% in your GDP. It generates employment of 22 million people directly. Keep these data apart. Create a passion, knowing that you will be a part of a big industry. It's a big business which can give you a good career growth in your life. This is first thing. Second and most thing in current environment where e-platforms are easily available, customer approach to deliverables is being different. For an example, earlier we used to deliver a packet where outer body was damaged, carton box was damaged, but the inside the item was intact and customer used to receive it. Today, when I buy a pair of shoes, even in the shop, my shoes are given in a damaged box, I refuse. Although before entering to the house, I throw this outer box of shoes in a dustbin, but certainly the definition of intact shipment is being changed. With this example, I'm just giving you a hint that very important thing is this, that with change of demand, change of speed, change of current tech platform availability, a supply chain manager should understand that SCM is data driven. It is important for a SCM guy or SCM officials or SCM manager to quickly draw the conclusion from large amount of data. There is a huge historical data, current data, daily, day-to-day data are available, but you must be capable to immediately draw the conclusion with these data banks. Use of data to get answer to serve thousands of products in large span of country like India. You should be agile and able to quickly extract and summarize the relevant data in timely manner to obtain the results. This is second thing. The third thing which I feel from my experience, I see the people rising in their career, that SCM people also manage people. So the third most important thing is that you must know to engage with people, to manage with people. I can tell you that even after mechanization of lots of automation, logistic is man-intense industry. After putting number of conveyor belts, number of sorters, number of robotics, still this industry is a man-intense industry. You can get into supply chain management with a great head of logistical aspects of the role, but at a certain point, knowing how to manage people is very, very important. On a larger role, a large number of people will report to you. So you must understand how to engage with people and how to manage them. A lot of people have a technical expertise to success in the field, but those who rise to the top have very strong interpersonal skill is my view. Ability to develop relationship, ability to develop mentorship is key. Engage with people to execute strategy. The company where you are working, the company will have every year some different priorities. Company will certainly, besides the profitability, have some other strategic planning. For execution of all these things, engagement with the people, mentorship with the people is very, very important. Being expert on low level of technical aspects of this industry can only get you so far, and the delegation is the critical to reaching the next level in your career. In one of our open house in my previous company where the global head was there. Somebody asked her, how do you manage number of branches, number of countries? He said, I mentor my managers and then I trust them. It means once he manages the people, he delegates. He delegates authority. He gives them ownership. That is required if you want to rise high in your logistic career. This is one of the key. One more important point, which is adaptability is must. As I was telling initially that I have seen many changes in working style of warehouse, hubs, delivery centers, and even the trucking also in last 25 years. I have seen that airlines ticket used to have a multiple pages and we used to put a carbon to create a airway bill or airlines ticket. I have seen that even for heavy shipments, we used to call number of people to stack them in a vehicle. I have seen the wooden cabinet of a truck. Which were very risky and drivers were very afraid to give a speed. My point is this, that logistics supply chain management trends and updates are currently changing and we must learn and follow the industry trends. If I compare Indian logistic journey to my colleagues, co-workers and subordinate, I am giving one example that 15 years before I saw a video of an automated warehouse of Singapore and I was having a dream to work in the similar condition and similar kind of hubs. A great change has been seen in Indian logistics, similar and even sometime better than Singapore warehouse are available here. Better automated hubs are available here. So point is this, adaptability must be there. Resistance to unlearn traditional way of working should not be there. Next, very, very important thing to be a part of LCM management team in any of the company for a student or a current working official is this attention to details. We have to highly aware of our workplace, co-workers, subordinates. You need to explain and properly drill down your KPIs, KRAs, and you need to explain how they will achieve this. You need to clearly define with detailing that what is your customer expectation and what is your company's expectation to your co-workers and everybody. We call in any performance metrics that what is being monitored will be definitely be more result oriented. So for monitoring, I must say the detailing is required. So you must be handy with all your detailings, is my point. On all the points where I'm talking about your own working attitude and pattern, let me tell you very important thing that in LCM, in logistic industry or in any of the service industry, we have to keep customer on top of mind. What today every new startup company is planning, that they must be getting good NPS, which is Net Promoter Scores. They must get good CSAT, which is customer satisfaction. Even on mobile apps, you might be selecting for hotel booking and hospital or any other things. You are definitely observing their ratings first before booking completion. So I must say that finally the customer preferred company will be there when company's manager and officials will keep customer on topmost priority. One more thing which I will include, the most important thing, that this industry does not require regimental people. Yeah, this require a army-like discipline on your duties, but this does not require a regimental, means single direction activity completion. This industry require a multitasking skill. You need to develop multitasking skills, my dear friends. With current expectation of customer and high deliverable of the companies, one should be multitasking personality. You must be continuous with your proactive approach, strategic implementation, execution, monitoring. I mean to see that keep a lot of moving pieces in your system, and you need to control and monitor each step and every shipment or every task. There might be a priority to a specific task, but multi-skill is the key. A different, you might have not heard in your academic books. I will give you that in my 10 things which is important you to be a good manager, or I would like to add next point, is that your understanding between technology and human fusion. Currently, even in India, the manpower is available. I say unskilled and semi-skilled mainly. The company, for the cost effectiveness and the faster result, interested to go in more mechanization and more automation. So your mindset as a logistic manager should be able to create a fusion between technology and human. I must explain in a way that currently, looking to the better infrastructure of the country, of the roads and the better efficient trucks, commercial vehicles available in the country, government has enhanced the payload capacity of a vehicle. Even the size of container has been increased. For an example, there is a Volvo, Bharat and Eicher, 3 commercial companies, commercial trucker manufacturer has introduced 42 feet length trailer also. So with technology and human fusion, I mean to see that, I mean to explain you that you will be able to create a design of a container, but you must know how feasible for the people to stuff, to utilize complete space. When I was talking e-commerce industry automation, lots of sorters, lot of robotics, lots of conveyor and telescopic guns and MHE's machine material handling equipments are there. So for each mechanical movement, for each technical equipment use, there is a point of process. Human and technology fusion is to understand that point of process and use of correct person on the spot for the better productivity and better use or the optimum use of that mechanical machine or technical machine is my point. One thing which I was explaining before the start of this webinar to Vandana, because we were there for 5 to 10 minutes before we started, that logistic never sleep. See, logistic to cover a reach of area, reach of activity, there are delegation of authorities. Let's talk about domestic. This country has a variety of constraints. Similarly, the people working on a ground has their limitations to think and take a decision. So being a logistic manager, you should be get ready to work 24/7. Yes, this is not an email business, my dear friends. Daily, hourly, you need to follow it, monitor it. Regularly, you need to see that understanding of KPI is there with your colleagues, with your subordinates, with your co-workers or not. You need to know how your warehouses, hubs, delivery centers works and ensure everything's get done every time, every day. Consistency need to be built. And with this point, I must tell you that if you have a passion to work, like an army man, a disciplined person, then you will be able to get a higher career in this industry. My 10th and last but the least point, which a logistic manager must know before he starts his career, that approach to backup plan is must. It is important that we should run our business and operations as BAU, business as usual. Even if the worst happened, like COVID, like cyclone, like political disturbance, hartal, bandh, VIP movements, all these are already existing constraints in our country. So what I mean to say that with customer expectation continuously on the rise and the interest shift towards the product variety and personalized services, the logistic and supply chain sector face mounting pressure. Your seniors, your management will be creating a pressure for these deliverables. Rapid advancement in emerging technology, which I explained, that IoT, Internet of Things, robotics, artificial intelligence. There are, you being a logistician person, it is important for a logistic experts to be proactive and identify potential of disruptive changes at early stage. Then only you will be able to create a backup plan. So these, dear friends, dear attendees, these were the points which I thought important for a student coming to serve this logistic industry.
So thanks, Sonam, for letting us know about the skill sets that are required. And apart from the skill sets, you also spoke about many other things. And I think some of the questions that have come to us, I think some are tactical and some are maybe overall. I'll just bring them and consolidate and ask them. One of the things that you mentioned is that because supply chain industry is changing, there is a lot of need for people to learn analytics because there is so much of data now.
Yes, yes.
Generally, in the organizations and the organizations that you've worked and currently working, what is the size of the analytics team in the overall team structure?
See, it depends on the reach and the product which you are handling. If you are focused to a single product, a team of 18 to 20 people is enough. But when you're handling a multi-product company and your turnover is high, your span of area, your reach is very, very high in the country, or if you are working internationally, your team may go up to 150 people in this segment, in this vertical.
And what would be the kind of salaries that you would generally have for the data analytics in LSCM sector? You can just provide us with a range for just to have an idea.
I think the trainees, the interns which join us or to any organization in this segment, they start their career with 6 lakh rupees, 7 lakh rupees annum. But it goes to crores.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Another thing that you had mentioned that it's very important that that apart from the technical skills that you earn and you learn, that you're able to manage people, right?
Yeah.
What are your, I mean, being in the industry for so many years now, Sonam, and working across different kinds of industries also within supply chain, logistics, what do you think are the hiring challenges overall in the LSCM? Where are the skill gaps?
The main challenge in SCM is look, with my experience, are two major challenges. That one, the well-qualified persons are very, very less available.
And when you say well qualified, could you just elaborate on that? That what do you mean by well qualified? Like what defines the well qualified person?
A well-qualified person means a person having an academic as well as practical knowledge of things. Mm-hmm. On top of it, his passion and analytical skills. On top of it, his sincerity and integrity. These three combinations is a well qualification for me.
Okay, one of the things that we've seen and based on the feedback, and you yourself have hired from UPES.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would like to just check with you, and some bit we were talking about it before the onset of the session, is that what do you think about the quality of people that you've hired from UPES? And then I'll a little bit talk about something else, but I just wanted to know that on what aspects have you found them to be your great employees?
See, when we go to the institute to hire people, we see their attitude should be very, very positive. This is number one. Second thing, we come out with a point that how will be the grasping power of this person. We also question in different manner to understand that how the adaptability of this person. Sometimes people are very, very adamant on their answers, so we see whether they are creating adaptability between them or not. And third thing is the basic knowledge of logistic, what is inward, what is Indian geography, what is packing, what is MHEs, and if we're going to work in a warehouse, what is eve height of a warehouse, and all these things we try to manage their, see, these technical academic knowledge is also very, very important. As I told you that e-commerce industry has given a lot of mechanical changes and technical changes in the working environment. The way we used to hire a, say, warehouse and hub and need to create a layout on a floor was through the experience or through the requirement and through the understanding of a common man. Now it is completely scientific through the engineers. Engineers are coming. They analyze the complete volume, load, flow, process, and then give us a layout. So we try to understand that the academic, all these things are also be there along with, I told, attitude, adaptability, grasping power, all these things.
Because, and why I ask this question, Sonam, is that in our experience, we've found recently, actually, along with the online MBA, and for the online MBA students specifically, because they don't get to be on campus, and because there is an opportunity cost, and also because they want that flexibility, opportunity to learn while they earn. One of the things that we realized that as they take on to the managerial roles, apart from understanding the technical skills, it's important for them to also build on the overall holistic development, which means that, as a manager, you have to be ready. And we actually launched LinkedIn courses where we give them complimentary, especially for the online MBA students, and there are about 8,000 plus courses that we provide complimentary to these folks. And we've seen great results coming out of it, and which actually leads them to actually, leading to a very holistic profile as a manager in any sector. Now, currently, we're talking about the logistics supply chain management. And it's heartening to hear when you say that it's not just about the technical skills, but it's also to develop your skills as you manage the teams. And how do you come out as, person who would be leading the teams? And one is that. And the second bit that you spoke about, and which was very important, is that having the right attitude and the mindset is very, very critical for you to be successful in the LSEM, and especially as you're beginning your career. Yes, and because you have to be available almost 24/7. And one of the participants also reacted to when you were talking that working 24/7 is a real fact point, is a real phenomena that happens in the LSEM industry. So I think to groom them also, and to be able to take the pressure to work 24/7 also becomes very instrumental and very critical to their success. And I don't know, do you have any requirements, or do you feel that there is a gap in finding the mindset that you were talking about in the current folks?
Yeah, see the current living style of people, the way even the current generation is nourished by their parents. They have a very, very speedy plan. They are more materialistic. They do not understand the professional language properly. And the meaning of professionalism, they think that there has to be clear life enjoyment along with the work which they do. See, let me tell you, I saw a video on simple social media which says that long back in 80s in Mumbai era, people used to get a job in mills. This is cloth mills, and they used to think to get retired from there. Similarly, in the logistic industry, people used to buy. I give an example. Sardar Samsher Singh used think to buy a one truck and earn and run his family, and wants to get marry his daughter also with that single truck earning. Now today, entrepreneurship is there. People losing patience, which should not be there. This industry requires some time. Today's entrepreneurship of trucking is that you buy 15 trucks, engage them, run them better, and get them free after 3 years. So that EMI burden goes from you. After 3 years or 4 years, you will start earning more. Or if you want to buy new trucks, you will have enough money. So In this logistic industry, somehow I told it's like a defense that your promotion will be after doing some good activity, after spending some good time of learning.
Mhm.
You can't be a major after lieutenant. You have to be captain. You have to go in field duties. You have to go in exercise. Similarly, in this logistic industry, if you're working in corporate office, you have to go interact with field people. If you're into field, you need to understand what is the strategies plan of my company, how this industry is getting changed, and you have to give some sufficient time for building your career. It is not like that in 2-3 years you will be able to build your career. Career is there. Career path are well defined in logistic industry, I can tell you.
Yeah.
But it requires some time. You have to invest some time. Then only it is possible.
Sure. All right, Sonam, I think we're out of time, and there are a few more questions, but what I would suggest to the participants is that if there are questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will get those answers from the leaders such as Sonam here today, who's joined us. And thank you all for attending the webinar, and thanks, Sonam, for giving us an insight on the logistic skills that are required, and for a very interesting session today.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everyone.